Valorant's agent pool for Duelist has been consistently increasing throughout the years, and to this date, we have a total of 8 Duelists to choose from. Now, if you're trying to find inspiration on who to main, here is our list to help you out with one iconic pro for every Duelist in Valorant. But before we get into it, if you feel like you've been struggling in ranked recently, then we have got an absolute treat for you. Over at SkillCapped, we have recently published a brand new Calm Aim course that details how any one of you could develop Radiant level aim in just a few weeks. Now, while most players just aim in whatever way that feels most comfortable to them, it might surprise you to hear that there's actually a proper aiming technique that pros use to not only make themselves more consistent, but to also help them get more kills like this. In our course, we're going to teach you this proper technique and even provide you with an aim training routine that you can use to instantly start improving your aim and climbing today. Now, unlike other routines, this is a simple, less than 15-minute exercise that you can do before you play that's going to do wonders for your aim. Not only that, but our site is literally backed by a rank improvement guarantee. So if you don't climb, you simply do not pay. If you're really looking to climb this act and want to actually start fragging out in your matches, be sure to check out our new Calm Aim course using the link below. Phoenix is considered the most beginner-friendly agent in the game because of how easy it is to pick this agent up. But of course, this doesn't mean he isn't capable of the more advanced mechanics like other duelists are. And who better than one of the masters of W gaming, Jing, to show us what Phoenix is truly capable of. And the 2023 Valorant champions, PRX absolutely decimated Pearl with Jing on Phoenix. So much so that they were undefeated on that map, effectively winning against teams like Crew, Edge, Foot, Loud, and even Evil Geniuses. Now, we all know how crazy PRX can get with their aggression, but there's just something extra special about combining Phoenix's kit, Jing's aggression, and the rest of the team's coordination. Just take a look at these rounds from their match against Crew.
If somebody was there, they could have gotten stunned in that molly.
There it is. Naxa with a good opener. On to something. Jing taking a little bit of damage.
They're going to have to rely on the rest of the push here, and that's through a Viper wall, through an alarm bot. That might give room for Jing to lurk out too.
Yeah, I mean, he's so far up on it already.
Oh, this flash going to clear back all, gives room for Jing to go for this.
He still has 2 flashes, so he can push this in if he wants to. But they're going to try to re-aggress back hauls, and Jing's there with 2, the flash on the 3rd.
PRX does a classic B pinch with Astra and KJ on B ramp and the rest on B link. Jing throws a molly lineup that covers the cubby on B link, followed by Device Trailblazer. Now, while it didn't get anyone, you know this is a deadly combo that could have easily gotten a pick. Nevertheless, they got the space they needed from both fronts, and the Cosmic Divided secured the site. No kills were claimed, and something got picked off, but the site was theirs for the taking. Jing repositions to Hall, gets 2 easy picks, Mindfreak gets 1, and that's all she wrote for that round. So on to the next. We see another beautiful execute on B, but this time it's a 4-man execute with Forsaken on the late lurk. Again, Jing starts on a well-placed molly lineup that lands on the choke point of B link. After throwing the molly, he pops his ult and starts doing what Paper Rex does best. He just presses W while running and gunning down whoever's in sight. And unfortunately, with Harbor being unable to fall back to B-Link due to his lineup, plus a Trailblazer to his face, there was absolutely zero chance for survival. And the rest of the team followed up on Jing's rampage, easily taking the site and leaving Crew on a difficult retake. After a few more picks from Something and Forsaken, Jing shows just how much he's hungry for more by pushing forward to the enemy spawn. And with such playstyle and momentum, well, who could honestly blame him, right? He gets the last 2 with ease, cementing their 7th consecutive round. Phoenix might not be your typical mobility duelist, but in the hands of Jing, he can absolutely be a true menace to society. Now, I'm sure a lot of people would argue different from me for an iconic pro candidates for Jett, and admittedly, it can be a tough debate. However, I'm not going to be pulling someone's leg when I say that I gotta give this spot to TenZ. There's no other man for the job. Yeah, the king of many Valorant fans may be retired, but I do believe nothing tops his accolades on Jett back in the early glory days of Sentinel, man. As most pro players would say, Valorant just becomes a different game when you're playing with or against TenZ. Absolutely, I agree with that. Do you remember that time when TenZ pulled off the impossible by dropping a 40 bomb on Jett against Luminosity Gaming, keeping him away from a 0-2 defeat in the series? Well, I, along with many other Sin fans around the world, remember that for sure.
But TenZ swings right back with 3! Oh no, he's got the blades and he pulls him out, but he lands the shots anyway! 4, and Sick gets the 5th!
Without TenZ putting in the work and dropping all those kills, Sin wouldn't have made it to map 3, man. And like Tarek said, what other would you have this game end? And who else but our Lord and Savior? Now, if you look up the TenZ on Jett, you're surely going to have dozens of content to watch for hours with the number of highlights this man has put up, both in VCT and Ranked. But this Marshall ace on Ranked, absolute cinema, man. No biggie on the first 2 kills, just a couple of no-scope Marshall shots through the smoke like it's an ordinary day. But to top the remaining kills off, TenZ goes stylish with the finishing kill as he stylishly maneuvers his way forward with an insanely difficult-to-pull-off shot. Whether it's a sniper, a sheriff, a vandal, or the Jett knives, nothing can stop a TenZ moment from unfolding. And just as a bonus clip here, who even hits a fadeaway shot like this? For our resident explosives master, some of you might have already been expecting Zekken to be on the list, and if not, well, you should really stop sleeping on how well he plays Raze. From high IQ plays just like this.
Wow, this is exactly what they needed to do to win.
The mid to UG for sure.
Well, Zekken did something insane.
To quick and insane Raze ace highlights like this. Whether it's in Ranked or VCT, Zekken definitely knows how to dominate the battlefield with his swift movement, instantaneous reflexes, and nerves of steel. And case in point, this absolutely bonkers 3K against Crew.
Is there any sort of
Wait, Melzer overheated.
Really tries to overextend.
Oh my god!
That could have easily been a disastrous round for Sin, but Zekken's response is a testament to how goated he really can be with Raze. The creative usage of his satchel to dodge the ult and maneuver through sewers was definitely unexpected, and the result? Gaining back the momentum of the round and ultimately securing it. Now, I could go on and on about the numerous highlights Zekken has on Raze, but it could really take a long while, so to give you a hint of an idea, Raze has been Zekken's most used agent at roughly 244 matches in the VCT with over 4,400 kills. Insane. And to top it all off, his average combat score throughout those matches is 257.7. So if you weren't convinced with the highlights, then maybe those statistics will. Alright, moving on to Reyna. While there aren't many Reyna users on VCT, one in particular definitely stands out, both in highlights and in stats. And that someone is something. But puns aside, there hasn't been any shortage of clippable moments from something whenever he uses Reyna on Paper Rex's team comp. Remember this? Okay, alright, so that's just one kill, right? But that flick, man, it was so inhuman. Now, I often use that clip to channel my inner something just deep down whenever using the op in Ranked. It's picks like these that really often get the team going, allowing PRX to build up their momentum. So let's take a look at another Reyna highlight from something in their match against Foot in the 2023 LA Champions.
He just swings out to take down Mr. Fall, and the blind is still through there on Amaj as well. Something comes away with 2. Empress not pops is not needed. Knows that they're going to be going in against the lighter buy, and now he's got himself a 3rd. He's looking for the 4th, and something is on for the ace. Dismisses forward, he's on the hunt, he's looking for him. And Kiwi tucked into the corner, can he shut it down? Can he deny it away? No, he cannot!
This was a time when Paper Rex was consistently a major threat in the Pacific, as well as being the top seed from their region. Now, as you can see, something was having a hard time hitting the brakes as he just pressed on, kill after kill, preying on Foot. This goes to show that whenever something is locked in, his Reyna game is absolutely unstoppable. No fear, no hesitation, just straight up W gaming. And in true Paper Rex fashion, of course, we have to show a clip where something is both dominating and trolling simultaneously. On a VCT Stage 2, I might add. Now, if something's Reyna doesn't inspire you Reyna mains out there, then I don't know what will. Yoru has always been a niche duelist, whether in the pro or in the casual scene. However, the tides have turned over the past year as we saw a significant increase in his usage. And if there's one pro player we have to take note of for putting on a Yoru masterclass, I say it's gotta be Jogamo. As much as G2 hasn't found their break yet on winning an international trophy, Jogamo and the entire team definitely proved why fans shouldn't sleep on him. Now for starters, never has there been a moment where the opposing team can relax in a 4v1 situation, especially when Jogamo is the last player standing. And as a quick reminder from the last Masters event, this brutal clutch against T1 on Abyss.
He's gonna be taken down. And it is all on Jaw. They're trying to stop this Thrifty from coming through. Binds 2, the reload completed. An eventual drift online. Swing! And he gets it done!
Just when you thought T1 had the upper hand, Jogamo steals the thunder right from under their noses. It seems like Jogamo doesn't know how to crack under pressure even when the odds are totally against him. Now, if you think it's bad enough to fight against his Yoru on VCT, wait till you see how he dominates in ranked matches as well. That first kill was a great example of precise spamming, perfect timing, and head-level crosshair placement. He then just gets a crispy headshot onto the enemy Yoru, whiffs a bit on the Reyna, but keeps calm and retreats to safety. You can also see how creative he gets trying to move back into sight while the neural theft is activated. And to be fair, it is Yoru after all, so if you aren't creative with your plays, then you're really maxing his potential. He resorts to using his dimensional drift to navigate back to sight, gets the pick on Brim, and finally, crab walks his way to finish off Cypher. Dude, if this guy is this relentless when he's just chilling, you know you're in for a threat when he's locked in for the trophy. Jogamo, man. Crazy. Neon is one of the toughest to deal with, especially when used by a player with insane movement. Now take note of those last two words, insane movement. And with that in mind, who do you think is the best candidate here? None other than the GOAT himself, Aspas. Honestly, Aspas can be considered iconic for other duelists too, but his creativity in maneuvering the battlefield is just too good when combined with Neon specifically. Take a look at how he dodges the Sova ult in this clip while getting away with a nasty 3K with a long-ranged overdrive. Just being able to hop and skip around with a Hunter's Fury in your face is no easy task, man. As while all of that was happening, he was able to pop his ult and eliminate the enemy Jett who just dashed into sight. This side anchor from Aspas was all the team needed to delay time for rotations to come and secure the round. Here's another dominating round from Aspas on Neon when he was still playing for Lev. Now the round was pretty straightforward and was actually over in a flash. As soon as Aspas popped his ult, he just let loose and found 4 kills to his name. If you look closely at each and every kill, you're going to notice that 3 out of 4 of those were straight headshots. Aspas head tracing with the overdrive, all while he was on the move, was an absolute treat. And I'm sure he was definitely feeling himself as he destroyed Furia one by one with minimal effort. And as a bonus clip here, here's another overdrive 4K from Aspas against Trace.
Back for a moment, now it's time to push right back into that site. In goes Anders Fury, and Aspas is shredding them, doing all the damage, making this ult look a lot stronger than it usually is.
Truly, Aspas remains the final boss in every VCT encounter when you're playing against him. Now, we might not have seen a lot of ISO in the VCT thus far, but with the recent Champions event, there is one individual that stands above all. I'm talking about the newly transferred Meteor who just came into T1 from Gen G. For all the Gen G fans out there, you already know how eagle-eyed Meteor can be. So it's really refreshing to see him more in the secondary duelist role in T1. And with ISO, he definitely did not disappoint as his aim and quick thinking translated well into his gameplay. First up, we have this beautiful clutch against Vitality with Meteor standing on top. Since ISO is the type of agent that really shines best when you have your aim locked in, it's only fitting we see Meteor land some crispy and calm shots with him. And throughout T1's run in Masters Bangkok, Meteor just fires away at everyone's head whenever he hops on ISO in Haven. Just like in the clip, no matter the odds or numbers advantage, his precision always gets him through. And of course, who could ever forget this phenomenal clutch against G2 in the Grand Finals?
Luring outside of the site now. Izu hearing the footsteps. Tries to go in for a timing. Ends up falling down. Does he get the pull? It does! Spike! I believe he might just have it. He's got the play of a Meteor. Brings it to a 1v1.
Oh my god.
Just a wall. Noise made. Jonah swing. Oh! What a shot!
Watching this moment for the first time brought such a roller coaster of emotions back then. At first, you would think Meteor's kill contract was enough, but then G2 gets the plants anyway. However, as he pressed on forward, that flick could not have come at a better timing. Insane wit and insane aim from an insane player. He truly deserved his back-to-back Masters trophy and being the MVP of Masters Bangkok. Now, if you think he's only good with ISO and Haven, have a peep at this ranked match in Fracture, man. No words, just pure aim and pure reflexes. For the last duelist, we have the most recent addition to the agent pool, and that is Waylay. Again, there aren't a lot of Waylay players in VCT yet, especially since she's a newly released agent. Now, be that as it may, we have seen a lot of creative plays from Forsaken of Paper Rex with this agent. Now, if you've been watching this season's VCT, you're most likely going to already know what I mean here. Given how crazy PaperX's antics can get with their W gaming, it's only fitting we see an iconic pro from their team wreaking havoc on Waylay. For instance, here's a clean 4K from Forsaken against Gen G on Lotus. The first few picks were pretty straightforward with good timing and even better aim. And after that, he uses his ult to catch Gen G off guard, which ultimately rewards PRX with a successful retake and a round win. It was a good combination of discipline for catching timings and trades, as well as aggression with Waylay's ult. Next, we have an insane 4K clutch against DRX, with Forsaken's name written all over it. Just when you thought PRX was going down the drain, Forsaken pulls up some heroics with Waylay. So apart from doing a successful lurk, he uses his ult to create an opening, allowing him to safely plant and increase odds. Despite being left with 6 HP, Forsaken remains as cold as ever, eliminating Mako and Bane.
Trying to work along the position, plays around the safe angle, quick strays back and forth, but Forsaken, he actually finds it. Down to just Bane, but where could he be? Oh! A little bit wider than before!
Here's the 4K round that served as a spark of hope for PaperX to turn things around, which, by the way, is all thanks to Forsaken being creative with Waylay's utilities combined with precise aggression. With Forsaken showing us a lot of fresh ideas on how to use Waylay, I'm positive we're bound to see more of this agent from other pro players in VCT.
Alright though guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little bit more about SkillCapped. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and we think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's kind of like a gym membership guaranteeing you that you're gonna get ripped. Your local gym probably go bust if they offered you that. But not us, because we've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium Valorant guides on the internet. We add new courses every month with over 1,000 guides curated into over 50 courses. No one can compare. We also have a direct line of communication with subscribers in our Discord so that you can get connected immediately to some of the best players in the game who will respond to every question you ask. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you're serious about improving your game. So that's going to be all for this one today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.